Hello, hello. We are back again. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hey.
Sack up fat. Sorry, I'm doing all.
Doing the most today. Another beautiful day.
Yes. What's happening?
Lisa,
I'm
heard, wait a minute, Lisa. I heard a little, what does that mean? Is that a West Indian? Is that what does that mean?
I think that's just a Lisa thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes. Big up to Lisa. So, ladies, let's talk today. Let's have some chit chat. So I was thinking, our parents. Tell me, do we know who our parents are? What's happening, family? You're listening to the Unfiltered Lyman with BLT. Every week, we will reflect on our journey on trying to navigate between our parents' traditional culture versus American culture. Oh, gosh, boy. We are your hosts,
Bertide,
Lisa,
and of course, Terry. Olya?
Nope.
No one is talking.
Nope.
So let's get unfiltered. Everybody on the same page. They have no clue who this mother and who this father is. All we know is just we just grew up with them, and that's what they were. But we don't know exactly core of who we are.
Not 100%, at least.
Bertie, you sound like you busting at the seams with this one.
Yeah, you got to piece the pieces together. You hear stories from this person, that person. You ask question. It's like you got to piece it together. I'm just like, why is it so difficult? Why do I have to piece the pieces of who you are instead of you just telling me you know yourself? Like, stop it already.
Exactly. Who are you?
Like, what we doing?
Do you think that they are afraid to expose who they are?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I would say, go ahead, Lisa. I'll let you elaborate on why you say that.
Yeah, because then that way they won't expose exactly who they are, because then that way they can keep that barrier between parent and child, right? Keep that wall up.
Right.
I was gonna go the other way. I was gonna say I think it's because they don't know how to, because their parents didn't tell them how to.
Oh yeah, definitely that too. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like because I know, like, I have my son, right? So I'm doing everything opposite of what my mom, because I want him to have we have conversations, and I feel like with my mom, even though she may have wanted to, it's like, how do you? I don't think she identified.
The big truck coming. The big truck coming. The big truck coming.
Here we go.
Hold on to the big truck. Wind up on the big truck. Hold on. The big truck coming. Everybody, the big truck coming. Go ahead, B. Go ahead. Go ahead, B. Finish.
Back it out. And this, folks, is what this is Unfiltered. But yeah, I just think it's because they don't know. So it's like you go through your routine of this is how your parents raised you. You were in a house with them, and they didn't know how to put the best foot forward to kind of know, how do you even start that conversation? How do you build? Because, like, I think you made a point, Lisa, of the parent-child relationship, but that's how they grew up. So they don't know how to change it.
Well, remember that saying, kids are seen and not heard.
But let me ask you ladies this question. Have you ever asked?
Ask what?
Direct?
No, yes, direct them. A direct question. Basically, how did you grow up? Who are you? What do you do? And a questions about them. Have you ever asked?
Imagine that. Hey, Mom, how are you? Who are you?
Yeah, I've done that.
That's an episode right there. We'll do that on live and see how that goes for us. You think that they'll do that on this podcast? Each one of us have an episode and ask our parents live. That way they can,
That's a negative for me. I can tell you that. All right, that's a boss up right there for me.
That's a boss up. I'm gonna go back on the knees with the grape.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was dreaming about that last night. Like, oh Lord.
Really? I have not directly asked my mom, but again, so with me wanting to know my mom's family, just my family, my dad and mom's family, and doing my family reunion, I've started asking questions. So the thing about it is, like, I just said, hey, how did my mom and dad meet? So my aunts told me, certain things, but there are certain things they don't tell you. So I go, well, how did they? So she'll tell me, like, the ones that, some details, but then it doesn't connect. So then she's like, well, it's not my place. So I've been out. So like each person has their thing. I feel like they'll tell you, but I also feel like my mom wouldn't know how to answer the question. So she talks a lot about her family. She has a lot of pride in her family, but I don't know that she knows how to reflect on herself to talk about who she is. Does that make sense?
No,
because you have
to.
Do you ladies ever think, and I want you to think about this before you answer, do you ever think that maybe there are areas that they do not want divulged? Because remember, they are the parent. So if they expose that area, we may look upon them differently. Do you ever think about that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think about that. I think that's one of the things, like Lisa was saying, one of the, the vulnerability, I guess is the word, the vulnerability of them not exposing who they are. But I think at the same time, I had to come to the realization, like, your parents are your parents, but they also are. When I became a mother, like, she's a mom, you know what I'm saying? She's a sister, she's a friend, like, she has all these characteristics. And yeah, I might know her as a mom, but who's the woman? Like, I think sometimes even as us, we don't think about that also. As kids, we just think, oh, our parents are our parents, not thinking like, oh, well, they have all these different personas, I guess. You know what I'm saying? That makes them who they are. I don't know. It's a loaded.
That is very loaded. And I think, just to piggyback on what you're saying, do they really know how to articulate that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think us being first generation American too, we have learned to communicate, articulate how we're feeling, using your words. Those things are taught to us, where I don't think, for us, it's like, okay, it's okay to express yourself. It's okay to say how you feel. And I don't.
But do you think it's because? So Lisa, do you think it's because we're in the United States, and the United States has a sense of because I feel like if we were in the island, it would not be the same.
No, you're probably absolutely right. America, we just free.
Right. Like, you go to school, they tell you, like, hey, you're an individual, all this stuff. But in the island, like, and they may, I don't know, but I just feel like maybe, again, that was one of the differences of being first generation in America, that we have the opportunity to be able to.
We're exposed to more too.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Terry? So you say you have asked your mom, unlike Lisa and I. So teach us, what tell us how that went. What's the face?
She broke up.
Back it out.
My mother, can I explain this? This is like dressing an open wound. You have to be very careful when you putting stuff on it, because the person going to keep going. So I think with my mother, like you said, Lisa, that word articulate, I think that is, she doesn't know how. It's like when I ask a question, she's like, well, like things. And okay, like what? I need specifics. For example, the relationship that I have with my daughter, I tell her everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I let her know, before you, I was this, yes, Bacchanal queen. I was the party girl. I was out. Everybody knew me. I knew everybody. That's just who I was. But I wanted for her to understand who I am and how I came about. Mothering was something that did not come easy to me at all. I would never say that I did the best that I could, but every day she gets more of me. Let me not assume. She gets to see more of me. I let her see more of me. And if she asks a question, I answer her. But for my parents, I really don't know them. I just know them because they're my parents, but I don't know the backstory.
Right.
Donna or Mike, my aunt on my father's side, when we talking, I mean, sometimes she letting go stories. So, of course I'm dropping questions. So what about this? And what about that? So she just feeding me. So that way, and and the other day he dropped a story. I was like, "You was in shenanigans, Daddy?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Say word," because again, the way he comes across now is not, I would never have thought that that's something that he would have done. So I'm just trying to get a better understanding of who they are, but I'm going to still ask. I am definitely going to still continue to ask because I'm going to get to the bottom of this damn thing.
She said, "I'm gonna get to the bottom of it." Like, her mom is
at least a piece of it, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
Who made them who they are? Like you said, I think your example of the way you are with your daughter, because I had to also, like in my cousins telling story, the ones that grew up in Haiti and knew my mom and my grandma. Like when they tell me story about my grandma, then I kind of understand why my mom is the way that she is. And that was another thing too. So, and to your point about mothering, because we women, like me and my ex-husband, when we were deciding to have kids, like I want to have kids, but I don't want to have kids. And I'm putting this out there because one of the main reasons why I was so afraid to have kids is because I didn't want to screw up my kid, because I feel like it was a lack of, do I know how to show my kid love? Because you understand what I'm saying? And I know I'm going a little deep, but that's like, I'm realistic with myself. So I was just like, Lord, like I prayed, like we got pregnant. I prayed. I was like, Lord, Jesus, Jehovah, Allah, whoever God can hear me.
Anybody out there
listening? I'm gonna need y'all to give me some strength. I'm gonna need y'all to make this happen because I don't know. You understand? Thank God, like his father had the parents. His parents are still together and stuff like that. So that helped me along the way where I felt like when I didn't know, he was there. So the balance of having that, and then I learned. But you have to reflect on understanding the dynamic of yourself and your parents and what was lacking, because if I not, I would have just thought like, oh, okay, those things were normal. And it's like, nah, it's not normal.
No, it's not. I know. And for me, I have not birthed any children, but what? But the children that I've had, what?
It's the eyes, Lisa. It's the eyes.
Sorry. But the children that I've had over the years around me, one thing that I have made it my business to do is sit and talk to them like they regular people.
Yes.
Like they an adult. I mean, of course, not all adult stuff, but I mean, just talk to them like a normal human being. Like, okay, so let's talk about why you did that. How did that make you feel? Maybe we shouldn't do that again.
Express themselves, because that was one of the hardest things, and I'm putting it out there just because I need to put it out there, but it is what it is, because it's unfiltered. So there's different parenting style, right? So Josiah's father, he kind of like has more of, and it's not bad, it's balanced, more of old school sometimes with kids being seen and not heard, and he's learning slowly, like there's just certain things you have to let your kids. I'm one of those, like, as long as he's respectful, that I don't have to snatch you up. You could ask me whatever you want to ask, right? As long as you're respectful, and and we have conversation. There's time that I'm like, why are you not talking to your dad about this? Why are you talking to me about this? You understand? But it's because I've built that same conversation, that rapport that makes him feel like, okay, he could have the conversation. And not that he doesn't have conversation with his dad, but before he does, like, he thinks about it. With me, he's just like, we just sitting there and he's being himself. You know what I'm saying? Expressing, like you said, himself, doesn't have to be filtered. The only thing I say is, like, as long as you're respectful, I don't care. Like, I'm going to be honest with you to the point where what I need to tell you for your age appropriateness, because we know what age. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Just talk to them like regular.
Do you think that we would be surprised at the things that we would hear about our parents, like who they are?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. I can actually give you an example.
Uh-oh.
I know. No, it's not a bad thing. It's like when I started getting into motorcycles, and obviously, my parents were both like, no, 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 we don't want you doing that. And then I found out from a family member that my mom rode a motorcycle in Dominica when she was growing up. I guess it was a motorcycle. Well, it's probably a smaller version than here, but it's
The
just the point.
mopeds,
Like,
the
yeah, like a
moped.
moped. Yeah, but it was kind of like, well, why didn't you divulge that information? Why didn't you tell me that?
Wow.
It was just like, no, don't do that. We don't want you to do that. It's dangerous.
Wow. And it's funny how certain things we do kind of like, I don't know how I would explain it. So it's just how automatically we do certain things that because of our parents. Does that make sense? Like who would have thought like you wanted to ride a motorcycle, your mom? You understand what I'm saying?
But
Like
I didn't get that information till after. I didn't.
Right.
That was just like some family member happened to say something overhearing, and I was like, wait, what? Yeah.
So you're saying that they put their fears into us.
Oh, all day, twice on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I would be surprised to find out the stuff my mom did, only because I feel like she tries so hard, and it's not a dig, it's just what it is. She tries so hard to keep up with this image of who she is. So, and I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I feel like who she is, because she's trying to keep an image, she's trying to make sure everybody likes her family's, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like who she is who she's been. And has she ever had the chance to freely be herself? That would be the question I would want to know. Like, is there something being that you've tried so hard your whole entire life to just people please, to do these things, if you didn't have to worry about that, like if you didn't have to worry about that, is there anything you feel like you missed out? Is there anything you feel like you would have done, like being buck wild? Or because I feel like I'm a free spirit, whatever I want to do, can't nobody tell me. Like, you can have your opinion, but I ain't listening to it. I don't care what you think. And I think sometimes that's where me and my mom bumps head, because sometimes she doesn't understand why I do. But I'm like, ain't nobody paying my bills here except for me. So they could keep their opinions and I'm going to do what I want to do. But for her, it's like she thinks about everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that has probably stopped her from maybe living truly free. Maybe.
But that's a West Indian thing, and Trinidadians have a saying that how it gonna look, how it gonna look, if I do X, Y, and Z, how it gonna look. Why they always worried and concerned with other people and their thoughts, and they grew up in that, and they brought that over here, so they put that into us. But here's the thing, though, I think we started to be like, whoa, so what? It was the big deal.
We got that so what from the American culture.
Correct.
We got that from that. And I think also, too, there is an underlying rebellious side, too, to that. I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of us rebelling because they're like that and we don't want to be like that. And then also, too, that we know it's the American way to do what the heck you want to do. So you throw those things all in there together, Lex boy.
And let me ask you this, now that you say that, Lisa, is there certain things growing up that when you did it, your mom, because I know from me, when I would do, like you said, express myself, mom's like, oh, you trying to be American?
Yeah.
Like, in a bad way. And I'm thinking to myself,
no, I got, you're a wayward child.
You're what?
Wayward. She's a wayward child.
Okay.
Wayward child.
Okay, we're going to pause so you can explain and define what wayward child is, ma'am.
Wayward? A wayward child. They have no direction, no home training. They just out there.
Okay.
All over the place. Yeah.
That's the definition, my folks. I'm just defining it for the folks that don't know what that is.
Oh. I mean, Terry, am I right?
No. You're right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, wayward, whatless, all that.
So I know we spend time focusing on our mom, but and I think because we're women, but what about the father? Lisa, let's start with you, since you giggled on that one.
Yeah,
yeah, my dad was very straight and narrow. Ran the straight and narrow race. But
Really?
one thing oh God. What is the word? Is it accolades? Things that he used to just always just randomly say all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You better take care of number one. It's not gonna last forever.
The one phrasers, the one phrase.
Yeah, I guess one phrasers. I guess that's what you can call it. The one phrasers, like just random, just pop into the room. It ain't gonna last forever. Disappear. Another day, pop up in another room, just out the blue. You better take care of number one. Disappear.
All of that.
You're out hanging out with your friends.
Listen, I could see Lisa like, yo, wait, what does that mean? We going with this? I could see Lisa doing all of that.
Like, damn, why we always gotta be? Can I live? Trying to enjoy the moment, and it was like ruining a wet dream, yo.
Bacchanal.
Jeez, like hanging out with your friends outside, having a good time. You just got the person just randomly walks by. Hey, it ain't gonna last forever. What the?
What does that mean? Oh my God!
Only they know, and they never explain what the hell that means. You be like, "Oh, hello, what?
Right?
What? Where are we going with this? What does that mean?" And they be walking away. So you be like, all lost.
Yeah, just making comments and walking away.
So with my dad, my mom.
Hold on to the big truck. Why not on the big truck? Hold on to the big truck.
Back now.
Thank you, Lisa, for that piece.
No problem. Anytime. We're here all week.
We're gonna be here all week, folks. Come back and listen to us again. That's funny.
Oh my God.
Where was I? Before the big truck. So my dad. My dad and my mom's relationship, like I remember us being like a family in Guadeloupe, right? And I remember them having one big fight. And after that, I didn't really see them. You know what I'm saying? Like they got along every Friday. We did family kind of like family together. Like they would put music on, and we would dance and, stuff like that. But as far as the discipline, like who my dad is, that is one because he passed away when I was 15. And I don't know. I mean, I hear stories from from his family, but again, because they don't divulge stuff. So I don't know. I just know he was chill. He was a chill guy. He wasn't into like him and my mom were opposite. Like my mom was all about her family. My dad didn't care. Like he was like, look, he wasn't worrying about who likes what. When he made decision, he ain't talk. You understand what I'm saying? Like he was like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep to myself. You don't like it? Oh well. You understand what I'm saying? So that dynamic to me was kind of like off because when she was like all about, he was totally like chill, kept to himself. But all the friends that he's had, people that knew him, when they come up to us, they're like, your dad was really a cool guy. His word was his bond. If he knows you was your friend, like he was really cool, really, down for people if he really liked you, but he wasn't into. So as far as that, and then discipline, like he likes to talk, like he liked to explain life. I remember that. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know much. I'm still digging into that one deeper.
This the same father who liked life when you told him that why his wife can't fix his own food?
Thank you. Thank you. But remember, he got it though. Even though like he was upset, but then he was like, "Yeah, you're right." I mean, I had to apologize, but he understood why you said that. Unlike like if I had told my mom that, shoot, I wouldn't be alive today.
licks and more
I would
licks.
be a lot. Yeah, there would be no conversation. You know what I'm saying? It would be like licks, licks, licks. There would be like no understanding, no, let's have a conversation. Why you feel? There would be none of that with my mom. But my
Nope.
dad, it was like a different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was different.
Oh my
What about you,
God.
Terry?
My father, people say that I am like him in some ways. So I still, like I said, I'm getting pieced off, but I'm not getting pieced off by him. That's the thing. I don't think, something, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that when we're together, it is never downtime where it's just him and I. It is always something going on, But I've never got the chance to really ask him the questions that I want to, and I will, especially now that we have this, this podcast going. I definitely, gonna say, listen, I want to ask you so, but I'm not gonna prep him, no, because
Oh, you can't prep.
no, because they get very, he get very scurvy.
Like why?
Yeah.
Like why?
Exactly. But I'm going to definitely have that conversation and slip it in and be like, and just ask him questions about himself, about growing up and stuff like that. I know that he didn't listen. He used to do what he wanted to do anyway. But you see, again,
I wonder where that.
yeah, exactly. The sneakiness, exactly. When he was told, because his mom died when he was young, from what I understand. And my aunt, the one that I'm always checking for, she is the one that brought her and my uncle up. So my father was the last. And with that, she said she used to tell him, listen, you need to be home by 10. He came in strolling at 12, saying that, I didn't know about the time. And
That sounds so familiar.
That sound like somebody.
So familiar, like somebody I know.
I know, right? Who Lisa? Who does that sound like?
Yes, that is all me. Exactly, because we good time Charlies. We having a good time. We hanging out. Again, this is where the word Lyman, we dear Lyman, having a good time. So all this is,
We talking on a podcast today? Oh, we meeting up today? Oh, shoot.
You see, you're licking me up right now. You're licking me up, Lisa. You giving me some lick.
Sorry.
So let me ask you this, Terry. So with you and your dad, you guys knowing, are you closer to your dad because of that? Or you?
That is a very good question. Okay.
Mind somebody get jealous?
Or something, but I think my mother already knows. My father and I, we're so much alike that we have these intermittent battles that go on. So I think now, because I'm much older and I have a much better understanding, and I'm like, something, this is who he is, and I'm getting to understand who he is now, that I can be able to understand and accept certain things. Do I like it? Sometimes, no, but I understand where it's coming from. So that makes everything, the waters, a little more calm, and we have better conversation. My mother, on the other hand, now, my mother and I, is like, she say bip, I say bap. She say hot, I say cold. And I'm like, well, why you gotta do all of that? But again, now I have better understanding of who she is. I have better understanding of who she is, where she's coming from. So that's my story in a nutshell right there, to answer your question.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Terry. What about you, Lisa? Which one of your parents? Well, tell us which one you think you're more similar to and which one you're closest to.
Good question.
Oh my God.
20 minutes later.
I honestly think I have about 50-50.
Oh, okay.
And 50-50 when I say that, because my mom is really a busybody. Susie homemaker, always wanted to do stuff. So, me, baking cookies, cooking, doing the home stuff. But then I think I'm like my dad, because career-wise, I'm not settling. I need to go up, and I definitely got my dad's sarcasm.
So the one phrasers, you got one phrasers, Lisa.
I don't feel like I do, but the sarcasm.
Lisa does not have any one phrases.
No, but definitely sarcasm. Sarcasm. Facial expressions, I'm not even sure where I get that from because I got that on
Really?
lock. Oh yeah, got that on lock. I'm not. Yeah,
What about the feistiness?
the feistiness. My mother. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much down the middle. So career side wise, I get that from my dad, but then my mom is a Susie homemaker. So yeah, that's why I'm always tired.
Trying to balance it all.
Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to take a nap. I overexert myself.
So who do you feel like you're closest to? Like, I mean, not that you're picking a favorite, but
Marty, don't start no messing.
It's too late. She already started.
Liming. That's the unfiltered liming.
Who am I close to? No.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let's ask this question another way. If something go down, who would be the first out of the two parents you would tell first?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I plead the fifth.
Uh-oh.
No, psych. Probably gonna get me in trouble. Probably my dad.
Okay.
Why is that? If you don't mind elaborating for the folks listening. Licks, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because sometimes my mom could be a comedian too.
Okay.
So she's going to look at the light side of it, where my dad is going to be like, wait, repeat that again? And give me, this is what you should do.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But, but then sometimes too, it goes both ways. Because then sometimes, they'll just be like, my dad will be like, well, that's part of being adult.
One phraser.
That's life.
One phraser.
I get the one phraser. That's life. That's why, you get old. You die.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I'm gonna. It's 50 down. It's down the middle.
It just depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends on the situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna ask you the question, B. Who are you more like? Who are you more like? And who are you closer to? So, or closer relationship, we feel.
So I look like my mom. So when I go to family events or different places, again, because I met all my parents' family here, people don't have to ask me whose daughter I am. That's how much alike.
You're her twin.
I am I think sometimes that's why we battle. I don't know. But for me, I feel like I'm like you, Lisa. I feel like I have some similarities to my mom, like family, being a hard worker. Like my mom is a business person, she ain't settling or wait. You know what I'm saying? She's very busybody too. But as far as business, she's always like stand on your own, don't depend on nobody.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my mom is that person that, she wants you to be all right and then the family. And then with my dad, the time that I spent with him, he's more of like I get my chill side sometimes, like I don't care what people say and I'm going to do what I want to do. It's my life. From him, I feel like I don't put people's pressure on me. So I think I get that because my mom is not that way. So I get that from my dad. And the other thing too is like the looking at life from a positive way. I get that from my dad because I remember when I was younger, I spent like a week with my dad because my mom and my sister went to a wedding and I didn't go. That was me being rebellious. But I got to spend that week with him. And during that time, spending with him, like he was just like, the story was like somebody came over and he was asking me, what do I want to be when I grow up? And for the longest, I wanted to be a pediatrician. And he looked at me, he was like, he told his friend, he's like, that's one thing about her. Whatever she sets her mind to, she's going to accomplish. And he looked at me, he's like, don't let nobody take that away from you.
That's awesome.
And that has been like my life lesson, and that was the thing for me out of the time that I got to spend with him. He would like always give you advice to make you, you know what I'm saying, be a better person, believe in yourself and stuff like that. So that's why I say my parents balance each other, because though my mom and I didn't have those conversations, but I feel like even though the short time he had, my dad had like the greatest impact on my life, as far as I say. And then yeah, I think if he was still alive, we would be closer. Like,
well, who do you think you got your spiciness from, Bertie?
I would say my mom. Oh my gosh, the women in my family, that's a whole other episode by itself. Starting with my grandma, started like the women just in general, not even, but the women in this family. Jesus. It runs in our blood. Like, it's like, you don't come mess with us, we gonna slap you, punch. Like, they're fighters.
Oh wow.
They're fighters. Like, you won't come. You come mess with one of us, let me tell you, you got another thing coming. Yes.
Oh man.
Talking about Bacchanal, they'll show out. But yeah, the women in the family, they have really strong personality, and with so I would say because I've met my aunts, and I thought my mom was bad. Oh Lord, like feisty. My mom is quiet feisty. She's like, if you push her, you're gonna see that feistiness out of her. But my aunts, oh my gosh, I have one aunt. No, she don't need nothing to like go to 100. She come 100. Like, it's like she walk in a room and it's 100, and I'm like, oh, okay, well,
wow.
Yeah, but
that's cool. That's
cool.
But great talk, ladies. I'm glad we had the opportunity to sit and talk a little bit more about our parents, because I think also too, it'll give the listeners a little, better insight, understanding who we are, and then also too, they probably have similarities with their parents too as well, and like we've talked about that, that's why we're on here. So sharing our trials and tribulations and our stories, and
let us know, folks, like our American listeners, or West Indian listeners. Let us know if you agree, don't agree, or if you see patterns that you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or give us some feedback as well on your relationship with your parents and how is different. We would love to hear it.
So, all right, ladies. Episode done. Bacchanal Queen, going down the road. Yes, lady, we're going. All right, ladies.
Till next time.
Next time.
All right, people, the Bacchanal Queens, we are ready to leave. But before we leave, we would like to thank you for joining us this week on Unfiltered Lyman with BLT. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and join our Facebook page. As always, subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh, exciting content. See you next Thursday, same time, same station. Unfiltered Lyman with BLT is edited and produced by Unfiltered Lyman with BLT.